fields we go, laughing all the way. Boughs on bobtails swing, making spirits bright. What fun a women likes to sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Daddy Janky is here, everybody. To ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Through the snow, everybody, one-horse open sleigh. All the fields.
You are the ocean of love. You are the ocean of love. Love, love, love.
ओम शांति बोलो सभी। आज बहुत बहुत हम आप सबके विशेष खुशियों का दिन है, जो आज मेरी क्रिसमस, जिसको हैप्पी क्रिसमस डे कहते, उसकी सभी को बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो, ग्रीटिंग्स दो, मुबारक हो। हम जब कलकत्ता में थी तो सारे रोड पर हमने देखा मेरी क्रिसमस के बहुत बहुत बैनर सारे रोड में लगे हुए थे, बहुत रोशनी थी। तो हमें मालूम है जैसे भारत का विशेष दीपावली दिन होता खुशियों का, न्यू ईयर, वैसे हमारे विदेश का ये क्रिसमस डे भी विशेष खुशियों का दिन होता। तो आप सब आज के दिन इतनी पक्की पक्की खुशियां मनाओ, जो फिर दूसरे साल में भी ऐसे हैप्पी क्रिसमस डे मनाओ, पूरा साल खुशियां मनाते रहो। ये है बाबा की ब्लेसिंग, वरदान। क्यों? हमारे को बाबा मिला तो हर दिन, हर पल, हर कार्य, हर एक से बड़े प्यार से, खुशियों से मिलन मनाते हैं। क्यों? हमें बाबा की, आप हम सबको बहुत बड़ी ब्लेसिंग है। ये ब्लेसिंग हमारी अमर रहे, यही हमारी आप सबको भी संदेश है। खुशियां मनाने आए हो, खूब मनाओ, खूब खेलो, खूब नाचो, खूब खाओ ब्रह्मा भोजन। हम तो कहेंगे कि ऐसी हमारे सब क्रिसमस डे आप सब डबल विदेशी यहाँ मना रहे हो। देखो मुझे ये मिला है, फरिश्ता फरिश्ता, ये दूसरा फरिश्ता। अच्छा, इसलिए आप सबको फिर भी हैप्पी क्रिसमस डे की बहुत बहुत खुशियों भरी मुबारक हो, ग्रीटिंग्स हो, सबकी आपको ब्लेसिंग्स हो। ओम शांति, ओम शांति, ओम।
दानी महादानी वरदानी बन जाना। दानी दानी महादानी वरदानी। मेरी किस्मत, बाबा कहते तुम मेरी हो, मैं तेरा हूँ।
Om Shanti. Be a jewel of contentment. Always remain content and make everyone content. Elevated actions. The sign of elevated actions is for the self to remain content and for others to remain content. It should not be, I am content, regardless of whether others are content or not. Those with a yogi life definitely influence others. If someone is discontent with the self, or if others are discontent with someone, then understand that there is something lacking in being yog-yukt. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Merry Christmas to everyone. Welcome to our Vikti Parivar. So today is a special day. And of course, after Didi's sharing, we will have a little celebration together. I'm sure you are prepared with your little cap, Santa cap, and some ornaments you can have in your hand, and we will have a Christmas dance together, right? So first, let's do our series and chit-chat, and then we'll do a little celebration together. So today is day 25. Be a jewel of contentment. Always remain content and make everyone content. Today's topic, elevated actions. Now, we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone.
Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. So beautiful that we were taken to, I think it was in Gyan Sarovar. And in Gyan Sarovar, both dadis were there at that time. And I know they must be doing now too, that so many Baba's double foreign children go in month of December, including youth and children, because during the end of December, many youth and children go there. I know many have gone from different centers, and they always used to celebrate Christmas Day. So it's good that that celebration is there. So so it was beautiful, right? Did you were happy to see daddies and all double foreigners there? And they must be celebrating even now. And that we might get in a day or two. But this one was, I think, in what year? Hmm? Okay, three. Okay, 2003. Kind of old, but to have both daddies together, it's our past beautiful memories of celebrating with daddies. When we go to Shantivan, we definitely miss daddies. We look forward for them. So our determination is to have contentment constantly. And contentment in such a way that everyone else also is satisfied, has contentment. Many have this question about how to make everyone content. Majority will, but some still have some complaints. It's both ways. Some are born with the nature of contentment. We don't realize contentment also is a name of a goddess, and they call it Goddess Santoshi, because Goddess Santoshi is inside. If you have that goddess of contentment, there is constant progress. Everything just happens and everything just comes to you in a very, very natural way. But if you always have complaint, demands, and so it doesn't mean that you do not want to progress or fulfill what is needed. But I like yesterday when Baba said, sit on the seat of contentment and observe everything as a detached observer. That means even if you have to say something, but don't leave your seat of contentment. Because contentment is a very personal stage, or it's a kind of personal virtue. But in Baba's task, of course, there are requirements, there needs to be progress. Self-improvement also is constantly needed. But don't leave the seat of contentment. And yesterday when I heard this, I really loved it. Then do everything what is needed, but with contentment. Because it's kind of power. So Baba is saying that one of the way for contentment is to do elevated actions. And especially on Christmas Day, people do a lot of kind acts and they express their kindness by distributing food to the poor or helping wherever it is needed. And it happens in all the cities, all the countries. The sign of elevated actions is the self to remain content and for others to remain content. It should not be that I am content regardless of whether others are content or not. Those with a yogi life definitely influence others. Yogi life has influence on others. If someone is discontent with the self, and that is basically if you do not have good yoga, if you're not able to churn knowledge, your stage is not good, so you are discontent. Or if others are discontent with someone, then understand that there is something lacking in being yogyukt. Yogyukt is being in yoga. So Baba is connecting a lot with karma yoga in a way, because one yoga is sitting yoga, other is karma yoga. So when you're doing karma yoga, if there is contentment, and if you are in yogi stage, then definitely others will also be contented. Yes, we have a day tomorrow, 24 hours to experiment and churn on this point more and more and see how do you connect yoga and contentment or action and contentment. That's very, very important. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah, Sister Mohini. And I know you're at Peace Village and you have a beautiful tree next to you, a Christmas tree. You have the Christmas light shining, Shiv Baba behind you like a halo. And then you have some poinsettias on the other side, all very in the season. And so how are you doing? How was your Christmas day?
Morning was very good, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Offering bhog to Baba, and Baba gave the gift, and that gift was happiness. Baba said, don't lose happiness. And then, of course, travel was very good with no traffic.
That's right.
And now we are with the family, Peace Village family, and others who are here. We all sitting together. So it was a good day.
Beautiful. Today I was very struck by the end of Baba's Murli. Very rarely do I get to read the Sakar Murli to Avyakti Parivar. So today I was really enjoying reading the Sakar Murli because I always read the Avyak Murlis to them. And at the very end of the Murli, Baba talked about the Christ soul.
Yes.
Are you fine with the song? Baba spoke about the Christ soul, and he spoke about the religion, Christian religion, as recognizing Adi Dev. Some of them, he said. And this is why Adi Dev, Brahma Baba, is the great-great-grandfather of all the religions. But today is not just Christmas Day. They say once in every 15 years or so, Christmas Day happens on the same day as Hanukkah, which is celebrated by our brothers and sisters from the Jewish community. And of course, Hanukkah is also very closely connected to God with the 8 candles and the 9th one. It's like the 9 jewels in the ring. And gifts that is received with every candle that's lit. And so I wanted to ask you that it is something that always fascinated me, that what would be the role of Abraham? Because Abraham is the first branch, and actually from Abraham comes Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. And of course, Christ, the soul, is respected and is renowned even more than Abraham in the world. But what do you think is the role of these prophet souls with Brahma Baba?
I think that Brahma Baba at confluence stage is a prophet for us in a way, right? And maybe I don't know, I can't think much about. You have any explanation for?
Yes, because Baba talks about the Christ soul, for instance, and he talks about the Krishna soul. Now, there's so many similarities. The Christ soul is celebrated, Jesus, the birth of Jesus is celebrated as a midnight. The 24th midnight is the midnight mass. That's when the birth actually takes place. Then 12th night, 12 days after, the 3 wise men came from the east, offering him these gifts and acknowledging the birth of a very special soul. But Baba talks about the soul of Christ and the soul of Krishna. The soul of Krishna also took birth in a prison cell, and Jesus took birth in a manger. They were both desiring protection so that they weren't killed by their enemies because of the role they had to play. And then Baba also says there at the end, there will be the handing over of the kingdom, as it were, from the Christians, the soul of Christ, to the soul of Krishna. And that's why their names are so similar. So he talks about these in the Sakar Murlis, not so much in the Avyak Murlis. And so I always see that not only the prophet soul of Christ, but also the prophet soul of Buddha, the prophet soul of Muhammad, the prophet soul of the Sikhs, the Jains. All these souls will come together and play a significant role in liberating their branches and taking them up back to the soul world with Baba. Because Baba said in the Murli today that every single person will recognize the Father. And so these prophet souls must play a significant role in the recognition of Baba, giving Baba's introduction to their own branches. So that always fascinates me, and I always want to be there to witness this scene, especially for Abraham, because Abraham, you haven't been to Israel, I don't think. You haven't been to Jerusalem. No. But when you're in that place of Jerusalem, you're actually feeling you're walking in the footsteps of Abraham. Just like when we go to Madhuban, we feel we're walking in the footsteps of Brahma Baba, especially Pandav Bhavan. And so it becomes something very alive and something very real when you're on these lands with these very deep and rich history, even though it could also be violent. But the richness of the history is so very living and alive when you're in those places. So I always am fascinated, what will be the role of these souls in the final act of the confluence age, and how amazing it would be for us to witness. So that's where I am today. I'm churning, I'm serving the Christian branch, I'm serving the Jewish branch, I'm connecting to Christ, I'm connecting to Abraham, and I'm just like asking Baba, what an amazing day, and how could I be of service? Talking about contentment and service, how could I be of service to these prophet souls and to the souls of those different branches? So I come to you with these questions because I'm churning them today.
Yeah, I have to think about it, and definitely there are answers. Do we have any Christians here, right?
You have many Christians there.
Background.
And you have Jewish,
not Christian background. You are Brahmin, but
born as Christians.
Huh? Jewish. We have Jewish.
Mm-hmm.
We have 3 Jewish.
Who?
We have a sister from Israel.
Oh, right. And who is the third one? Christian. You have any thought about what Gayatri Ben is talking about, Christ, or how they connected? And no, they said they haven't thought. Kalaben has something, right? Take mic, whosoever has something.
So my connection, I think, is with the Christ soul more than any other prophet soul. And I think I can say that because I went to school in a convent. And I think one of my most intimate moments with God growing up in a school was in a convent chapel. And I felt very, very close to that soul of Christ. Almost every day I would go to the chapel in the interval. And I can still kind of feel those feelings of, the serenity, the silence, the peace, and all of those things. But I want to share that this morning when we were offering Vogue, I was right in front of Brahma Baba's picture. And, I just felt this beautiful, beautiful connection between Brahma Baba and Christ's soul. Like, for example, Brahma Baba's drishti had so much love, and it was like an attraction to the soul of Christ. So I just could feel it very, very distinctly this morning about how what he must feel for this soul of Christ. So when we say Father of Humanity, and what does that really feel like? It was a very real experience. So I just wanted to share that, it would be, and of course, I think Christ's soul would recognize, right, Brahma Baba?
There must be something.
So all these prophet
Susan, you have
souls would
something to say?
recognize. But it, I don't think, I didn't want to intellectualize it, but it was a very, very beautiful and real feeling of the connection of those two
My
souls.
difficulty is to see him on cross, I feel very sad, and I feel that yes, there are some churches, chapels which has, mostly without cross, but otherwise in all the churches. And I feel why they kept it like this, why they have to show this to children, and that okay, there was no recognition, and whatever Brahma Baba went through, lot of deformation, was not the way Christ was treated. But generally it happens that all the prophets have to go through lot of difficulties, because other religions, when they see something is emerging, like when Jews saw that Christ or Jesus is emerging, they couldn't tolerate it, right? And they said, how can that be the message of God. I think same happens with same is with Brahma Baba, that people said, how can that be? How can there be celibacy and God is not omnipresent? And there were so many concepts which are completely new and different. So it takes long time for people to accept them. I mean, that is a common thing with all the prophets. And I know same happened with Guru Nanak, and other one of the Guru Gobind Singh. So it happens with all the prophets. So something common is there. Yes.
So this
Yeah,
could
it's
be
good.
Thank you, Calaban. Thank you, Sister Mohini. This could be a really nice conversation to have even among Brahmins of the role of Brahma Baba Bapdada and the prophets and how that will play out at the end of the confluence age. And what a beautiful scene that would be. It would be a real family reunion. It would be a real unity of sons and daughters, because, of course, Mary is also remembered a lot when it comes to the life of Jesus Christ, and, of course, Sarah in the life of Abraham. So there's always a very powerful figure of a woman with the prophets, whether it's the wife, whether it's the mother. And so it's going to be a very, very beautiful scene, I am sure. So thank you, Sister Mohini. I know that they have a program coming up, a kind of a Christmas celebration. So I was asked to finish promptly at now, this very moment. So, but if you, I know they're doing some prep, but if you want to say anything else, Bhumi's asked me to talk about Christmas, but I think we did talk a lot already about it. But I want to ask you, Sister Mohini, if you wanted to share just a little bit, because we don't have much time before they start the celebration, on this thing of happiness and contentment. And what's the connection between being contented and being the bestower of happiness?
Because these days Baba had been talking about cooperation in the sense of helping to increase courage, enthusiasm, someone not feeling good, to make that soul, bring the self-respect in that soul. And what I find that, there is a lot of happiness if I am able to donate virtues. And, very quietly, and I find that that virtue is like fragrance, and everyone is watching the act, whether it is act of kindness, whether it is whatever act you do, it's being observed, right? So I feel that contentment by nature, one is attainments and achievements, the contentment of my success and how many students we have, how big the building is of the center, that is external, but very deep contentment. And then, as I said, you are Santoshi Devi, right? And contentment keeps you smiling, cheerful, So definitely when you are content, you are happy too. And to keep happy also creates contentment. It's both connected. So anyway, everyone, again, happy Merry Christmas. Om Shanti.
Merry Christmas to you and happy Hanukkah. And let's continue to give happiness. And Baba says, do not take the sorrow, even if it's being offered to you. Do not take it. And so, Bhumi, are you ready?
Om Shanti, Merry Christmas again. Actually, Gayatriban, I want you to speak for 2 minutes so that we can get ready. Anyway, everyone else also, can you get ready with your cap and everything? So we need 2 minutes. Meanwhile, can you please share a little bit more? 2 minutes. Thank you.
Yes, sure, I could share. You always put me in the spot, so let me just emerge the light. That's what's called spotlight, when you put in the spot and you have the emerge light. I just wanted to share my 2 minutes that every time it's Christmas since 2019, I always remember my trip to Bethlehem. And going to Bethlehem in December was very significant for me because, you know, Bethlehem is the place where Jesus took birth, and they have the whole setup of the nativity, the church, the nativity, the place where he was, the stables where he was placed in the little manger, and they have everything there. But one of the significant things, and Baba talked about it today, is humility. And so when you arrive at the nativity, the place, there is a very little opening. And the guide who was with us, I'm looking at this little door, and he's looking at me, and he asked me, "Do you know the significance of this door?" And I said, "No, but how are we going to get in to see where the baby in the manger and all of this?" And he said, "Well, actually, that little opening is called the humility door. It's the humility door." And so he says, in order to enter to see where Jesus took birth, you have to bend, you have to bow. And that is why it's called the humility door. And so we had to bow, we had to actually bow as though half our bodies were bowing to get in. And I always remembered that because it made such a difference in terms of entering a space that is considered to be very holy and very sacred to people of the Christian religion, but also everyone else visiting it honors the sanctity of that place. But it also tells us about the life of Jesus Christ thereon. There was a great humility in his life. There was a great love for humanity in the life of Jesus Christ. And of course, Jesus' life was different. He was growing up, he was born, he was a carpenter's son. The community loved him. He had all the different aspects of a person growing up, but he was always considered to be special. But then when the soul of Christ entered his body, and then all of these things started happening, and he had his disciples with him, and but there were three things in Jesus Christ's life that I think is renowned in the world outside of his humility, but also the humility is part of it. And that is, he had great love. It's always love thy neighbor as you would love yourself. It's the golden rule: do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Love for the self, for your own self, love for your neighbor, love for the world. And so it was, his entire teachings were based on profound love. And so when we celebrate, his birth on the day, 25th of December, I think we remember those things. And that's why so much of virtues are celebrated at Christmas time: peace, love, goodwill, thankfulness, gratitude. All these things epitomize the life of Jesus Christ. And then on the other hand, I also have a fascination, as you know, for Abraham. So I was in Jerusalem before I went to Bethlehem. I just went to Bethlehem, which is in Palestine, for a half a day. And then there is Jerusalem, where I was for the conference. And of course, in Jerusalem, that's where Abraham is very well. It's such a strong presence of Abraham. And then they have the Wailing Wall. And so you walk toward the wall and you pay homage to that wall. But then you could write your letter to Abraham, and then you could stick it in the wall. And I remember writing him a little note and saying to Abraham, "Abraham, please return, because only you can make sense and only you can bring the healing that is required in this part of the world, because it's all happening in your name and you have to come and correct it. And that was a little note I wrote to him, and I always remember that. And it made me feel very deeply moved that maybe one day I'll come face to face with Abraham, and then maybe he will say, you wrote me that note. And now let me show you how I'm going to work with God to make this happen. So, sometimes I become like a kid and I make up things like my imaginary things with my imaginary prophets and what would happen at the end. So today I was remembering both places, which are very special places, Bethlehem and Jerusalem, and two significant things: the birth, it's Christmas Day, and also the day of Hanukkah. And I know all of our dear ones, our Brahmin brothers and sisters, especially in the Great Neck area, we usually would host them. We used to, I don't know if it still happens, and they would come and they would light the menorah with us. And we would do it for the 8 days. And it used to be very, very lovely. I think we did it 2 years, in which Jane and her husband would come and some of the others. And he used to participate, Phil, who is Jane's husband, used to participate with us. And so in lighting the menorah. So here we are. That's my little blurb on Hanukkah and on Christmas. And hi, everyone. And Bhumi, what are you wearing? It looks like a pagri. It looks like a turban. Then that's better. That's better. Now you're seeing the hat, right? Now it's better. That's good.
It's kind of a funny cap. I don't know what it is.
Bhumi, वो वाला dance कराओ ना.
Oh, that's better, Bhumi. Now it looks like a Santa's hat. That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So we don't have much space, so we will do the dance sitting.
No, tomorrow is not.
Okay, everyone will join us.
Yes.
Where is your cap? Hello, everyone. You don't see any cap around. Your cap, your little ornaments.
I don't have a cap.
Oh, you can have a little ornaments in your hand.
Yeah,
Hello,
I will have the menorah.
Yeah, can you please turn on your cameras? Everyone, get set ready. Now looks.
ऐसे करके देख. You can turn around. थोड़ा chairs को ऐसे कर लो.
We have a big class. Ready?
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse.
There's a blessing for everyone. For Christmas, you are wealthy beyond measure because your mind is filled with peace, your eyes are filled with love, and your heart is filled with contentment. Beautiful. Thank you, Didi.
Om Shanti. Om
Om Shanti Didi. Om